one of these days.
Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the local USA. This is the Unprofessional Professional Sports Show. I am BA, followed here by Keith Engel from TGI Sports Talk, James Train Martin, and Bo Crouch from Football with Bo. How you gentlemen doing this Wednesday?
Fabulous.
I am not a crook.
I hope not.
What's that from, Keith?
Got enough of them out here. But anyway.
What's that, James?
What's that from, Keith? I'm not a crook.
Well, Richard Nixon said that.
Yes, but I'm sorry. Go ahead. But what movie was it quoted from?
Was it Point Break?
Yes, the criminal with the mask on.
Yeah.
For sure.
The Presidents, yeah.
The Presidents, yeah.
Bringing the movies. That's how you do it. Speaking of movies, one we don't have to keep seeing all the time is the Pro Bowl. They eliminated the Pro Bowl.
I thought
That's
they already
awesome.
had. I thought they already had.
It was a figment of our imagination, I guess.
That's a great take, Keith. Yeah, they already had, just not the way you expect. Literally, just say goodbye.
As soon as it was on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
As soon as it was on a Tuesday last year, it was over.
It was on a Tuesday? I missed it altogether.
See?
Yeah.
Death to the Pro Bowl. Anyway.
All-star games in general, stop playing them, because they're all irrelevant now. I mean, baseball used to have the best one, and it stinks now, too. I mean, it's just, if we're going to mic up players and talk to them through the whole game, what's the point? I don't get it.
Well, the biggest thing is they're not playing anymore. That's the problem. There used to be some pride involved where guys wanted to go showcase that they were an all-star, and now nobody actually does anything. And so, it's a terrible game across the board, which is why I like that they started doing things like the World Classic and stuff like that.
Yes. I want to see Pete Rose run over Ray Fosse. That's what I want to see. All-star games, those guys cared, right?
Yeah.
Well, for one, the incentive, one side wins the most money, and you got guys that make the Pro Bowl that probably had terrible contracts, and so it was incentive to play for that $75,000 or whatever amount of money versus the significantly less amount that you would get. So,
well, and when they used to tie things like home field advantage in the championship game series, then it made sense. Then you had something to play for.
Yeah, but Bo, even then, I mean, I agree the idea has merit, but the problem is you'd have a bunch of guys who weren't going to be involved in pennant races deciding who was going to have the home field advantage in a World Series, and it didn't feel right to me.
I mean, agreed.
And the NFL Pro Bowl fell off when they stopped having it after the Super Bowl, when the actual Pro Bowlers would actually play.
Right.
The actual legit players that were there, not the guys who got in late because like three guys decided not to go in.
Joe, you
didn't like Shador.
I mean, Bo, you're not in a white.
You didn't like Shador. No, you didn't like Shador and Tyler Huntley getting in.
No.
That wasn't the jam.
God,
No.
It's ridiculous when you're down to like the 10th best quarterback in the conference playing.
No, I want to see Shador when he's at his best. When he's played a full season at his best, getting in the Pro Bowl. But it won't happen anymore. I mean, the fact that you have all pros, that's great. That's an awesome thing because these are legit guys who weren't voted by the fans. They actually were voted by their peers and by the writers and everybody else of getting all pro. That makes sense. But there's not enough positions to get out there to get an all pro bid. So this kind of stinks a little bit. It's like you said, the death of a movie, of a bad movie. What was Terminator and Terminator 2 ended up being some pretty bad Terminators that came later afterwards, and so I hate to even bring movies. And number 7, I heard, yeah.
88 players receive the honor without alternates, obviously, because they won't need them. The Pro Bowlers will be invited to L.A. for an in-person celebration. There you go. Let's get snockered. That's how we do it.
So are they getting rid of, because I hadn't seen this yet, did they get rid of like all of the like skills challenges? They're just shutting the whole thing down?
Oh, they're shutting it down. Shutting it down.
What's the point?
Really,
it's goofy.
Yeah, I mean, that was just, that was idiotism anyway. Nobody was watching that. I mean,
you know what I'd like to have come back? I like to have the NFL's fastest man come back. I mean, that was a big thing. That was a big thing when you had Herschel Walker going up against Darryl Green and Rod Woodson and different guys that showing off their skill. And it just, our Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins in the slam dunk competition. Get back to real competition. Nobody wants to do this anymore. I mean, I have to. And my favorite guy, LeBron James, he didn't go in the slam dunk competition. Never. I mean, that was most of the premier perennial guys went into the competition, and it is what it is. It just went down. Now these kids just don't want to do anything anymore.
They make too much money to want to do something that doesn't add any value. I mean, when you think back to when those games really got played hard, these players didn't make any money. So that bump from those games was significant. Now, even though it's more than it was, the percentage compared to what it is they make every year doesn't move the needle.
So I won't miss any of them.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. The skills challenge would be fine. Flag football stuff had to go on. You basically, that's got to go. I like the skills challenge. Remember they used to have the skill challenge in the Pro Bowl? That was awesome. I like that.
Yeah, the quarterback competition.
Yeah. That was good stuff.
Hitting the moving targets. Yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
Good stuff. All right. So the Big Ten did it first, and then the SEC filed. They won't allow players to return from the NFL and the NBA, much to Kiffin's dismay. And then the NCAA regulated players coming from the NFL going back to college after being cut by an NFL team will maintain status as a free agent, but will not be permitted to return to the NFL in the 2026 season. So
that's the NFL. That's the NFL's ruling, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Originally, these guys were originally they were going to retain the rights. The team would retain the rights to them till the next draft, but that didn't make sense either. If you cut somebody, why would you retain rights to them?
Right.
Yeah.
They're trying to be slick because they went to college and just got better or something like that. They're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and Lane Kiffin is, he's for him trying to rationalize this that when they put this rule in the 5 year rule, they said I think it was the last 2 classes. Well, actually, 23, 24, and 25. I think those classes were like grandfathered in. So it was these guys from the 22 recruiting class that were left high and dry. And Lane Kiffin's rationale is, well, they didn't know about this, so they may have stayed if they'd known the rule. Well, rules change, right? I mean, just because speed limit changes to 30 doesn't mean I can drive 55 in it because I always did before. And maybe that isn't a great analogy, but it's just Lane Kiffin being Lane Kiffin. You can't let this stuff continue to go on. They put this rule in to add some kind of logic to these kids in their college careers, that we weren't going to wonder whether they were going to play 4 years or 10. And this makes total sense. And you can't keep going back in and grandfathering people in just because they would have had eligibility. The NCAA did the right thing here. Well, I should say the SEC and the Big Ten did the right thing here.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's not over.
No.
You got a lot of lawyers that are coming
There'll be
out
more
and
lawsuits.
a lot of injunctions and different things they're going to actually start bringing in. So I don't know if these guys will be able to play. I kind of agree with you. I think once you're done, come back, or if you sign a contract, you actually stepped on the field. Like there's one guy that LSU got. He didn't get drafted, nor did he sign a contract. He should be technically allowed to come back.
If you declare for the draft, I don't think you should be allowed to come back, whether you got drafted or signed a contract or not. I think if you declare, you're done. That's it. But the lawsuits will continue, James. You're right, because their whole argument, the argument this time when it looked like they were going to be allowed back, was that we were infringing their ability to make a living playing college football. How ridiculous is this argument, for crying out loud? But that's the reality where we are.
And let's be clear, it's not just LSU. LSU is just the punching bag because Lane Kiffin is the coach. There's Texas, Missouri, and a few other schools that actually did try to get players to come back. So I think LSU. No, not to you.
No, I'm only pointing out Kiffin because he made an argument why we should be allowed to do this. The other guys just, they were doing what they could do, but I think once the league said no, they just, dropped it.
Yeah. I'm kind of with that whole program too. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. It's another thing that the NCAA they opened the Pandora's box and they had to sit back and. Sorry, hold on a minute.
We tend to focus on football and basketball as well because those are the profitable sports, right? But this ruling would affect every single sport in a school. So you could be throwing things into total chaos. Well, they're total chaos half the time now anyway. But you'd be throwing things into even more chaos because you could have thousands of kids coming back to school for a fifth year if they're allowed to do so. So I think the leagues the conferences had to get out in front of this.
You gotta blame the system, no, Keith. If amateurism had not been a thing many years ago, I think we'd be way out ahead of this now. We wouldn't even be talking about this now. This would not be an issue because we would have gotten ahead of this situation. This is what we're in the chaos because problems started with greed. We have to go all the way back with amateurism. I think that's the biggest culprit here. Let's start with the base of the situation. Yes, exactly. So now everybody wants to eat, which they should, but there's no rules to regulate everything, and they're going along as they go. As time goes, and it's just it looks chaotic because there's no structure whatsoever.
Well, I mean, we went from, and I know what you're referring to, we went from a system where kids in schools would be put on probation or get in trouble for taking a plane ride when their granddad died, or getting a pizza, ridiculously minuscule stuff in the grand scheme of things. We went from that to getting millions and millions of dollars, which again, that's not what should be happening on either end of the spectrum. Neither one of those things should be happening. But like anything else, no good idea goes unscrewed up.
Yes.
You can quote me on that if you'd like to, by the way.
I might have to use that.
Yeah, I was going to use a different word, but I didn't.
I know what you meant.
Hey, it's the Unprofessional show. You gotta work with this show.
I don't think we should say that word. Maybe if you want me to, I'd be happy to.
I mean, it's at least the right word to describe the NCAA.
Well, without a doubt.
Yeah. Speaking of transferring, former Florida State quarterback Thomas Castellanos is transferring from Florida State to Texas Tech. How does everybody feel about that one?
I'm sorry. What was that again? I'm sorry. For whatever reason, I zoned out. What was it?
It was that back nine, wasn't it, Keith? Anyway,
it was.
I was going to say. I thought you were joking. I was like, because it's not a great story.
I really didn't hear it. What was it?
The Florida State quarterback Thomas Castellanos is transferring from Florida.
The one big game he had against Alabama at the beginning of the season, and nothing else since.
Doesn't Texas Tech already have an established quarterback?
They've got Harold.
They did.
Harold. who was
they had the kid that gambled, and that didn't work. That's not working out. So.
Well, they got Will Harrell, that was their plan A originally. Then he got hurt last year and played sporadically, and then they brought in Sorsby, and he was going to get pushed back to backup, but he'll be the starter now, and he can play. He can play.
Who?
So I'm not sure.
Will Harrell? Harrell?
Yeah, he's a good player. Healthy when he's healthy. So I don't know what, this late in the game, he's transferring to Texas Tech. I hadn't heard that.
A whole new offensive system.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's another one of those kids that transferred to multiple schools. I mean, Florida State wasn't his first stop.
2 weeks before the season starts. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that, again, it's like the Wild Wild West. There's no guardrails for these guys. It's just nuts.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only limitation is you can't jump in the transfer portal. There's nothing that says you can't just pull out and go to a different school.
Right.
Like that's why I always laugh when people are so mad about the transfer portal. It's not even necessary. If another school wants you, you can just withdraw and then go to that school, and that's it. Like, there's nothing to keep you from doing it. I'm surprised more kids don't do it.
They do. Yeah. We just don't know a lot about it because a lot of them aren't the premier players because they don't get opportunity to start. They want to go to another school. And it needs to be regulation. I agree with you there. There should be some level of regulation. And again, in my opinion, maybe 2 schools tops that you're allowed to transfer to. And that will keep some continuity within the base of the students remaining at the school. So
well,
I mean,
so he was in the draft last year. Yeah, I didn't know he was. He's in the draft, so he falls into that bucket we were just talking about, right? I mean, but the Big 12 hasn't made any ruling like the SEC or the Big 10. Sorry, Bo.
Oh, I was just going to say the one caveat to limiting guys being able to move should be if your coach that you wanted to go play for gets fired or takes a different job or whatever. I feel like you should be able to go somewhere else at that point. And this is coming from somebody that watched our entire roster fall apart when our coach went to Alabama. So, but at the same time, you don't want to get recruited, think you're going to have a coach that's going to put you in contention to win a championship, and then all of a sudden you are, at a school that has no direction. Like I wouldn't want to do that either. So I do feel like there needs to be some outlines, but then of course, it's the NCAA, so that would require them to have a plan, and I don't know that they're capable of that.
They need some, again, guardrails. We were talking about the transfer portal, and the group of 6 schools are getting screwed right and left. The American Football Conference, 4 coaches left, went to Power 4 schools, took half their rosters with them, as Bo's talking about at Washington. And 78% of the first and second team, all conference teams, all transferred to Power 4 schools. So these guys develop players and lose them right and left. And that's not, to me, that's not a level playing field or even close to it, right? So, I don't get it.
The only thing that helps that a little bit is now that they have limited roster sizes, it has made it so that some of that talent trickles down just because it has to.
I really thought that would when this first went into place, Bo, part of me was I thought it would be good because I thought some guys who were sitting around on Power 4 teams, not getting a chance to play, would go to the group of 6, the lower level at Division I schools, but it hasn't really happened that way. It's happened in the reverse more than the other. So
it's really hurt walk-ons. That's been the biggest detriment to it.
Yeah,
is walk-ons really don't get a shot.
I think didn't there something come into play where walk-ons can't even come on anymore? Isn't there some rule or something now that isn't allowed to walk-ons, or something that kind of eliminated walk-ons?
The The roster limit is really what creates that block. They let walk-ons come, but they're some of the first that are kicked out of there because they have to keep the roster, to that 150 mark. So, there's nothing that explicitly excludes them, but it just made it infinitely harder because you have to prove that you essentially should have been recruited as opposed to developing in a system the way, walk-ons used to.
And another really cool part of college football has just been totally eliminated because some of these walk-ons, they work hard, they get a chance to play, and then they earn a scholarship. And those are some great moments. You've seen footage of this stuff a lot of times on game day where a kid who's worked hard for a couple of years, the coach will, in front of the whole team, tell him he's won himself a scholarship. You're not going to see that stuff anymore. These feel-good stories have all turned into who's got the biggest bank account. That's the feel-good story.
I would say this, Baker Mayfield, although he was a scholarship player at another school, he was a walk-on technically at Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, he was, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a different situation, though, right?
Exactly. Right.
So you're saying that I was going to say something to make a joke out of this whole situation, but
say it. This is the Unprofessional Professional show. I mean, stop. Man, what are you guys doing, Keith?
It's a little lewd.
Oh, sorry.
It's a little lewd.
I was like, Keith. Bo, you getting pulled over? What's going on?
We're not driving fast enough for that, man.
Right. Damn. No, I was going to say. I guess where the kids' pull-out games are going to be, good for the future of them.
Okay, gotcha. I was gonna say, Bo, if you're not driving fast enough, are you getting pulled over like Tommy Boy? You're doing 20 miles an hour, pulling, and when you pull over, you're supposed to pull over on the side, not the median.
Just straight in the middle. I mean, to be fair, I'm going to come to a stop here in traffic anyway, so wouldn't even have to pull anywhere. I just let him walk up to the window.
Yeah, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to want to play college football at his age.
Well,
he probably want to play pickleball as bad as he probably feels.
But theoretically, some guy who played 10 years in pro football without, these conferences saying, no, you can't do that, could go back and play. There's nothing to stop them. These college
if you had eligibility.
Yeah, college basketball teams are pulling guys who played professionally in Europe right and left. So again, everything gets bastardized.
That's a weird loophole, actually. That you can
John Carter. He's like, Penn State, here I come.
Right. I got one good knee.
Who needs a running back?
I got one good knee left. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you need. Going into the NFL here, of course, we've had the saga with Deshaun Watson starting over Shedeur Sanders for the Browns. Is this the right move?
No. There's no future for Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. Why would you play him? Why wouldn't you play the guy you need to find out if he can play? Because I think they've got 2 first-round draft picks next year and what looks like a bumper crop of quarterbacks coming out. Croc might be a better thing than crop, I guess. But
I think this is actually telling you. I think this is actually telling you that they don't have their quarterback of the future on the roster, and they don't want Shedeur to have bad tape because they're going to get rid of everybody.
Possibly.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, I don't think Shedeur would really have bad tape, especially with they're added more talent. I think ultimately they want to get what they can because they're not going to have him as a second string. They can't get rid of him. They're not going to get – when I say him, I mean Deshaun Watson. They can't get rid of him. They're going to have a lot of dead cap money on it. The owner even said, they made a mistake, but they got to play him because you got to get something out of him. And
you don't have to.
You
don't have to do
right
that. You
can
eat the contract. He won't be on this roster. I'll make a prediction right now. He will
I
not
agree
be on
with
this
that.
roster week 9. Won't be on this roster.
Think about it this way.
You're right. He can't be the backup.
And you don't have to play him because when you look around the league, the Eagles get rid of Carson Wentz, eat an incredible amount of dead cap. you look at the Broncos getting rid of Russ. He never even played a snap under that ridiculous contract they signed him to. So, I mean, you can get around it. And then if the fifth string guy or the fifth round guy is your guy of the future, if that's truly what you think, then it doesn't even matter that you're paying a quarterback because you're not paying him. So,
I just think that if the owner came out and said that, he's probably ticked already that he paid that much money. He's probably to the point, I got to get at least something out of this deal, at least if it's the last year or not. I mean, he paid that. First of all, it was a goofy amount of money to be paying somebody. The worst historical deal ever is the worst, and it didn't pan out. So, I mean, if you're a billionaire and you're spending $250 million in a product that just didn't work, I'm sorry. I guarantee billionaires would be ticked if it was 10 million and it didn't work. 250 is a hell of a lot of money to say I'm about to just get rid of somebody and I didn't get nothing out of it. I mean, that's how I would feel.
Jack always reminds me, right, when I say cut him. Just get him off the roster, whoever it is. He's like, it's not my money, so it's easy for me to say. But these guys can afford to get rid of these guys. I mean, most of these. You're better off. Addition by subtraction actually works. They'd be better off with him off the team and that distraction gone out of that locker room. Eat the money.
I mean, and you can't even really make the argument that the owners are worried about that because if you look at the number that was, it was 3 years ago, so I think it's actually more now, is there was $780 million in contracts to coaches that weren't coaching for the teams.
Right.
So clearly the owners don't care because you're not going to eat that money. So, I mean, at this point, there's no reason to keep it, especially because you've seen around the league other teams eat incredible dead cap. In fact, probably the best one to highlight would be this year for the Dolphins. They have more dead cap than they have actual contract. So if you look at their dead cap money versus what they have rostered money, the dead cap actually outweighs their entire roster. So, I mean, this is just the Browns being the Browns.
Yeah.
I agree with that part too. I mean, I think the starter should be Shedeur Sanders. Let's get that out there. I think Shedeur Sanders should be the starter. He's been the better player in practice. He's been the better player in preseason. And he just the way it looks though is that he wasn't the best by a long shot. He didn't show that, so that might lead to your argument, Bo, that they might not see no starter on this team. But I disagree with that. I think Shedeur, with that young team, that young nucleus, you see Harold Fanning, you see Judkins, you see a couple of rookies, that receivers that they have there, Denzel Boston. KC Concepcion, you got the kid that they had from last year, Isaiah Bonds. You got a team there that you're starting to build in something. And why not allow the guy that you got in the 5th round that has the respect of the players of that team and the fan base? Why not give him the opportunity to be the guy there and see what this team can do? But I think there lies in the dysfunction of the organization that you've seen from the Browns. Not just this year, last year, or the year before that, but for a long time, it's been there. So, what it is.
Yeah. Well, and when you look at it by the numbers, though, Deshaun and Shedeur had very similar preseasons. Deshaun played a lot better than Shedeur in the first game. Shedeur played better than Deshaun in the second. Neither one of them really looked very good. Yeah, I mean, they had random plays, but like it was not great football in either case. And when you have it that way, then that's where you make that argument of, well, I'm paying this guy $45 million. I should probably, go ahead and go with that if the other side isn't any different anyway.
And it's preseason football on top of that. You really can't. I mean, you could judge to a point some of these guys, but at the same time, it's preseason football. It's a lot of things are vanilla. You're running a certain amount of plays. It doesn't make it, you're just kind of just making sure people get out of there uninjured, and you kind of evaluate your rookies and people that you have on the team that just came on the team. So
But you can
It's
also
Cleveland.
see you can also evaluate in practice too. Forget the
Yeah,
preseason.
true.
When you're in practice, I mean Russell Wilson, Matt Flynn, a third guy. Matt Flynn came in, got a lot of money. You draft a third round draft pick, and he come in, he outshines the guy and gets a starting job. So you can see it in practice too. It's not just that. So I don't know. It's just I think it's just like you said, it's just Cleveland.
It's Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, what are you really doing? Are you what you're saying to your fans when you put Deshaun Watson out there, regardless of what you think you're going to get money wise from him out there playing? I could care less about that whole situation because he's kind of washed anyway. But are you telling your fans, look, we're putting him out there. We're not trying to win any games. That's basically what they're saying. Instead of putting somebody out there that's younger, Shador, and riding with him. Even if he's not the best option on the team, he's a better option than Watson is.
And that might be the situation where you don't think Shador is great enough to get you to where you can win like multiple games or have a winning season, but he may be better than Watson. But you want to let Watson play because you want to get closer to a top 5, top 10 draft pick.
A quarterback like they always do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, gotta love Cleveland. I'd like to be a analyst in Cleveland right now. Listen to all these phone calls coming in from the fans. That would just be awesome.
I'd love to be like just a fly on the wall in some of these, meetings
Right.
for Cleveland because those have to be a train wreck.
And it's really funny too. He made that whole Watson made that whole thing about nobody respects me in Cleveland. They're booing me, and they're booing me because not my professionalism. It's because of off the field things. Well, dude, if you didn't do off the field things, then you wouldn't have this problem. 1, 2. Then you're gonna go back and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say all that. I was just caught up in the moment." Yeah, after you win the starting job. I believe that Watson had something to do with that. I think he kind of sucked up to like the coach or the owner or something. Like, well, let me play. And that's what I say.
Winning cures all. Fan base, if they're winning, they would not care if Watson was doing any of that stuff off the field. If he was playing lights out 2020 MVP like Watson, all that stuff would not be remembered at all. They wouldn't care because you are lighting it up. Michael Vick, prime example. When he came out and started showing when he was with the Eagles what he could do, and he could still do that, he still had his detractors. He still had people that was booing him. He still had, people out there at the games. But those people were losing their mind. That's why he got $100 million contract again when he was playing. So, yes, I don't care what people say. You can say all you want. You can be mad about stuff. If you winning, people don't care. People do not care.
Agreed. Everybody knows how I feel about him personally, and I won't go there now. But James is right. If he was a top 5 quarterback, he could have killed all those women. He'd still be playing in the NFL.
That's a bit extreme.
Unprofessional is
that's a bit extreme.
Just look at Ray Lewis. I mean, come on. He played and he's in the Hall of Fame, and he was involved in a double murder.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I would wager he was involved. Don't let the air out of footballs, though. Don't let the air out of footballs.
If the glove doesn't fit,
and it is Cleveland. You're right. Not only is the quarterback a future not on that team, I'm guessing the coach of the future isn't on that team either because Tom Watkins is over his head.
Yeah,
he's going to be the fall guy. He's definitely going to be the fall guy in that situation. Cleveland.
I don't think he's actually a fall guy. I think he's actually going to be bad at his job.
Yeah, I do too. I agree. I agree, Bo.
That could be happening too.
Here's Exhibit A, by the way. We just had Exhibit A on Monday. So,
speaking of starting for Game 1, Atlanta has Tua and Penix. Penix just got put on the practice squad. He's getting ready. He's doing his training camp. He's on 11-11 drills and stuff like that. Tua has already played a couple of preseason games. I don't know. I mean, I guess you got to Tua's starting the next preseason game. and they're not going to have Penix in that game at all. So, do you think Tua's going to be the number one?
How can he not be? There's no more games or anything after this week,
Yeah,
so
that's
he's going
true,
to
but
have to be the starter. I mean, I'd be shocked if he wasn't. I don't think he'll hold the job, but I'd be shocked if he wasn't the starter now.
I don't know. Cooper Rush might be in the mix. I don't know.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny.
Yes, exactly. I just think ultimately, I don't know. I thought this would be Michael Penix Jr.'s team. I still think he's talented coming out of Washington. I just think that, and if you have talent around you, he's that type of player. He played with good talent, and I think there's good talent on his team now. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe it was the coaching. A lot of times that matters. I like Stefanski. I think Stefanski is a good head coach. I think there'll be some good opportunities for Michael Penix Jr., but the health aspect is a major minus for him. I think that.
I mean,
that
he's
might
going
be
to get
a major.
he's going to get a chance because Tua is either going to lose the job or get hurt, and so like he'll get some starts this year. That's actually why I like that they grabbed Tua, because Penix has a history of getting hurt as well. They're both lefties. Yeah. They both play a very similar style ball. Your offensive line doesn't have to try and figure out a new way to block. So I think they just realized between the two, we're going to get a season. And then you bring in Cooper Rush because you're like, you know what, you're probably going to get 1 or 2 starts because both these guys are going to be hurt. And I think they're a team that roster-wise is good enough to win the division. I just don't know that you get healthy enough play to make that work.
And let's not forget,
they got two ends missed. They got 2 ends that are missing too. One's, under legal
for 8 games. Yeah,
and the other one
one's hurt. One's hurt, and the other one's got some 8-game issues.
Yeah, but Tua will. Yeah, Danny is right. Tua will have a short leash. I think that's what the coach said as well. They have a short leash during the first game. So, but even though he hasn't named anyone yet, I'm sure that's what he's referring to. But Atlanta's like, they're just as bad with this quarterback situation. They can't figure it out either. What's going on with them? And that's the only thing I think that's holding this team back from being great. Is there's some talent quarterback? Yeah,
there's some talent. Yeah, there's some talent there, and I agree with James. I think Stefanski's a good head coach. But he gets saddled with these quarterback issues, and second time now.
I'm not one of the ones that ain't buying that whole situation. I think he had Baker there, and he was winning games. He let him go. Then what happened? He was made great because they got Flacco in there, and Flacco won some games for him. But then when he got into the playoffs, he blew it big time in the playoffs against Houston. So, let me see what he
runs a good offense. He runs a good offense. Well, I mean, let's not forget, it's the Browns, man. It's hard to win in Cleveland. It's hard. It's a premium when you get a playoff game. I heard some guys arguing about that when Baker won a playoff game. I was like, he still won a playoff game in Cleveland. That's like gold out there.
They were a Baker Mayfield fumble away from getting to the AFC Championship game. I mean, that's a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I don't think
the struggles
he wanted Mayfield, I believe, and he got Watson pushed on him. I don't think he wanted him from the beginning. The owner wanted him, and now he's crying about it.
Yeah, then he wanted Shador too, and then the coach wanted Gabriel Dillon. So it's a mess in both of those. Like I said, once Atlanta gets a quarterback that they can say, we're sticking with this guy, he's going to produce, they'll be a better team. But right now, I don't see them doing anything this year in the NFC South. I think they'll be okay, but they're not going to be. I think New Orleans has pretty much got that division. Speaking of staying in the NFC South, the Panthers continue to be committed to Bryce Young despite no extension. What are we looking at here for this? Because this is kind of odd. They've been rah-rahing Bryce, but they're not paying Bryce.
I think it's a show me situation. Show me, and you'll get your money. If he doesn't show him, he might not.
He's going to have a hard time showing them because they have 2 injured tackles.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the injury bugs hit that team pretty hard too.
Well, it might be better for him because he can now see, not being 5'10". So I mean,
just play without tackles.
Yes.
I don't know. The defensive guys are pretty big too.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think that the injury bug is going rampant across the NFL. Period. The Saints aren't. I mean, I was about to say, pump the brakes on the Saints, man. We lost. First of all, Alvin Kamara's out for a month. We lost another running back. We had to get another running back from San Francisco. We traded, I think, a kicker or somebody, a punter, somebody. We traded to them, and we got what's the kid's name? I can't think of his name. I don't know. It's a camp body look like, but he ran pretty decent in 2023, but not much more after that. So again, and of course we lost Brian Brzee to an ACL for the season. We got 2 guys we had to put on IR permanently. I mean they're out for the season. They're not major players, but just the injury bug again is just it's scary, man, because they're questioning whether or not they're going to even actually play any starters in this last preseason game. So I don't know. It's just tough. Chris Olave, he had something in practice, and
it's getting everybody because like Seattle, we lost Bud Clark in our last preseason game, and the only thing I will say about that is they did get lucky in the way that it was a broken ankle, because the way he went down looked like it could have been an ACL, and so for it to be a broken ankle, it means you at least have a pretty good shot at getting him back this year. Although the evaluation of it still said multiple months. It was a pretty vague evaluation as far as timeline. But he was supposed to be taking over the Kobe Bryant role since we lost him in the offseason. And so for him to go down because of the way they used Kobe Bryant, that is a bigger hit than people give it credit for.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Talk about hits. The Giants, they barely have a wide receiver group, and they lost Calvin Austin III to an ACL for the season.
Yep.
Odell makes the team now, probably.
Oh, yes, he is definitely
without a doubt.
making the team now. Definitely making the team.
But don't hold your breath because, he may have an injury somewhere in the season. That's just been his mantra his whole career. So.
Oh, yeah. He'll be good.
And I'm not wishing that on you, Odell. I'm not wishing that on you, Odie but goodie.
And
if you can't win games, just go for nostalgia.
There you go. That'll put people in the seats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I remember Odell when back in 2000, blah blah blah, and he caught the one-handed pass.
They lost that game.
Yeah. Well,
it'd be one thing if you won, but it was a great catch. You still lost. So, how great was it, really?
Uh-oh. Now they're coming for you.
Ambulance.
Well, let's hope they're coming for none of us.
That's
yes.
right.
That's right.
So,
happens. I hear an ambulance. I check my pulse immediately just to make sure I'm still here.
I'm surprised you're not wearing your life alert chain there.
I don't like to wear it on camera.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm falling and I can't get up.
I knew it was coming next. Somebody was going to say it.
It's all right. I'm taking notes.
Coming to you, Keith, though, Christian Gonzalez, he wants an extension. How's that coming along?
Dog.
I don't know what's going on. We got a dog fight going on. Where's Michael Vick here or what?
Oh, goodness.
That was for Danny.
Coming from?
Where's that coming from?
I have no idea. I've been hearing it for a while.
It's getting crazy.
I've been hearing it for a while. I have no idea.
Yeah, me too. Let me mute myself. I mean, I know it's my.
It's probably Bo in the traffic going by, and you know how the cars make the noise when traffic goes by.
The Patriots have been negotiating with Christian Gonzalez pretty much just since spring. They've offered him. They had offered him. At least it was reported they offered him, and he turned down the highest contract ever for a cornerback. He said no, and that was before Witherspoon. Is that's a guy with Seattle, right?
Yes.
That's before he signed, even higher than what they offered Gonzalez. So they got to get this done. I mean, they don't have a history of paying guys outside of quarterbacks. And
he turned down the highest. I thought he signed.
He turned down what would have been the highest contract at the time, and that was a couple of weeks before Witherspoon signed his extension. So the price has gone up since they made the offer, and this isn't getting done anytime soon, I don't think. And they're playing with fire because, in my mind, he's at least one of, if not the best cornerback in the league.
What does he do for a fifth-year option? When does he do for that?
He might have another two. He might have another year after this, before that kicks in. But again, the price is only going to keep going up. It's not going to get less the longer they wait. But he's hunkered down right now, so I don't know if they're negotiating still or not. But this is not a good sign to me for the future. And they're not really deep back there either. It's like they can just, we'll move on from him. They can't move on from him. He's a great player. You watch a Super Bowl, they get beat by about 40 if he's not playing that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
right,
very apparent in that Super Bowl.
So yeah, I don't know.
A very underrated corner.
They got to get this done. They got to get it done for sure.
Yeah. All right. So now we get to make fun of something that's near and dear to Bo. San Francisco owner Jed York was caught in Ohio for engaging in Ohio for engaging in prostitution. He served 1 day in jail and was fined $1,150. He also had to complete an online course. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, what about his family? Well, he filed for divorce from his wife in May, so they're separated. So that saved him from that whole bunch of stuff right there. But, dude, really? You're not sending the right optics in this situation. San Francisco's already dealing with a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm sure Bo's over there just loving every minute of it. And
it's hilarious. It is hilarious. Yeah, especially because he's going after like discount hookers. $140 at a trailer park. Like, what are we doing?
It was 160.
Can't he afford high-end escorts? I mean,
right?
Come on.
And he's going to
Ohio. What's he doing in Ohio in a trailer park? Where does he live? He doesn't live in Ohio.
No, he's from Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh, is he? All right, okay. Yes. I couldn't get my head around why he was in Ohio. Okay, that makes sense. I guess now it makes sense that he's in a trailer park in Ohio. Yes.
Well, he's part of a sting, and he sent.
I just love that it was a sting operation.
Yes. They caught him coming from the trailer park, going to the next destination they were going to send him to. And that was to the unmarked police car that pulled him over and told him to, give up all your information, buddy. And, hey, I had $160 in this pocket, raring to go.
Listen, I don't want to read into anything, but we started talking about $140 hookers, and James just hightailed it out of here. What happened there?
Right? I was waiting for the sit down. I'm Chris Hansen.
Yep, he's messing with them 304s. I don't know. I don't understand that whole situation with Mr. York there, because a man in his position should have access to, a higher end.
I mean, the thing is when you have money like that, you seriously couldn't find a groupie that. Come on.
Right, something. And I'm sure you have to come out the pocket more than $160, but still, where's your dignity?
Cell Block E
in Ohio.
Cell Block E is where that resides.
It's definitely still in Ohio. Okay, so to wrap up our show. NFC North, the NFC North and the AFC South revealed their rivalries jerseys.
Ugh.
Oh
Why?
my God! Let me
Why?
tell you something. These are hideous. Do I still got these in here? Yeah. So here's the AFC Souths. From the Texans, the Titans, the Jaguars, and the Colts. Those really ain't too bad, although the Texans are trying to be the Titans, I guess. I don't understand that. That color blue is not.
Yeah, it looks like the Titans
Texans.
colors.
It
Yeah.
does. And
Yeah, it's because
for
it
the
was the
Oilers.
Oilers colors.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for the Oilers. That makes sense. Yeah.
the Colts basically just inverted one of their what is it? Their alternate uniform. That are black and blue anyway. It's kind of the same thing. So I mean, these ain't too bad.
Well, Colts are known for having the black jerseys. Come on. It's all about selling jerseys. That's all this is for. It's rivalry week. It's like the City Connect or whatever, the baseball uniforms. I hate those too.
Yeah.
It looks like prison uniform.
Well, Jed York will be in one.
Oh. Yeah, James went to the ATM.
Who said that? That's a good one.
And then we got the good old NFC North. Now, let me tell you something. I didn't know Chicago Bears were the Syracuse Orangemen.
Jesus.
And then I don't know when we turned into the Panthers, because that's what that looks like.
I mean, to be fair, like the Seahawks ones last year looked exactly like it should have been an Oregon Duck jersey. So, so far they've pretty much all been terrible.
Yeah. I mean, did you like the ones that were for the NFC West last year? You didn't like them either?
No, because I'm a Washington Husky fan. No, because I'm a Husky fan, and the fact that the Seahawk ones look like a Duck jersey, you're just like, what are we doing right now?
Well, if these are, quote unquote, for rivalry games, then why aren't you wearing the jerseys that you've worn during the rivalry the entire time? These teams have been playing for how many decades in the North? Since the 40s, 30s in some cases. 30s. Why aren't we wear throwback uniforms? Don't wear something that makes no sense at all. It's about selling another jersey. That's all it is. And it's annoying after a while.
Mm-hmm. It looks like the NFC North became the NFC South. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much right on there, Tom. Yeah, that's just this is disgusting. And I'm going to tell you, there's a whole bunch of people talking about, well, yeah, somebody broke down the Lions jersey. It's like, well, it's not the same color blue as the I'm like, dude, if you're just looking at the jersey and you don't tell me that doesn't look like a Carolina Panther jersey, regardless of if it says Detroit on the top of it, there's something wrong with you. Because that's all it is. Yeah, the whole NFC and AFC teams that are represented this year are just bad. And I thought it was appropriate that the Texans are going to be wearing theirs when they play the Titans. We'll say, are we going to be able to distinguish what team is which?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans do what they did before and play that game in Oiler jerseys. That was so messed up.
I'm going to conquer. That's awesome.
Yeah. They look like the away jerseys, a cheap version.
But, no way. Just stop. Every league does the same thing too. They all do it. The NBA does it. Major League Baseball does it. Obviously, the NFL now. I like the throwback jerseys. That's fine. Right? Because I like the Patriots' old jerseys. I'm a big Pat Patriot guy, and I love the old red jerseys with the blue.
It was dark purple, Robbie.
Yeah.
Just looks black, but it's
so based on that, that means you really hated the jersey of tomorrow for baseball back in like '98, I think it was. Where
hated those. And they wear those. It is City Connect. I'm not using the right term. Isn't it City Connect? The other alternate uniforms they got together.
The new ones, yeah.
Thomas
Yeah,
said
dude.
those NFL jerseys looks like versions of $100 hookers.
Nice. Jed York's
Right,
got
brought to you by Timu.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Looks like they might have been paid by Timu too. But anyway, yeah, those are just disgusting. I don't understand why any of these professional leagues do this. I mean, I understand. I understand
money.
for the fact for the money, but if they're ugly, who the hell's going to be paying for that crap? I'm not paying for a jersey like that.
They sell so many of them.
They do. People don't care what they look like.
No. As soon as a new one comes out, they buy it. Like, it is consumerism at its peak.
James, so you can say this is cool.
Same reason, every team's got a black version of their uniforms, right? A black jersey or whatever. Even it doesn't matter what their colors are. They got an alternate that's black and white or black and whatever.
Yeah, I just think it's already bad enough. We got the Bumblebee jerseys from Pittsburgh that look like people are in jail.
Well, at least they're throwbacks and they've got a little bit of history behind them or something. They look awful, I agree, but
yeah. And in Green Bay with their brown and navy,
Denver's were awful too, if I remember right. The Broncos were terrible too.
Yeah, the old ones, those are hideous too. There's a lot of hideous ones that they have out there. But we just stop. Come on, just stop, people. Please stop.
Begging you. Pay your real money to stop.
Yeah, the old Houston Oilers jerseys are really nice.
Oh, awesome. Love you blue. Those are great. Those were great uniforms.
So anyway, ending on that note, we made it through this show without Bo reaching his destination, so that's great.
Not for us. For us it is, not for him.
For us it is, not for him. Anyway, do keep in.
That's how you know traffic. That's how you know traffic in Seattle is always awesome.
Yeah. And we did lose James. I think his phone overheated again. He needs to get a new phone. I keep trying to tell him that.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. Stay tuned for Keith's college report coming up next on this airwave here. And everybody have a great day. We'll see you next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out, everybody.
See you guys.
Oh, yeah.